Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. So I welcome you all to yet another video in this AWS Data Engineering Certification course, and in this particular video we are going to talk about GitHub. So in the previous video we have already covered Git and what is version control, and I have talked about multiple concepts about Git and version control. So if you are not aware about what exactly Git is and what is version control, I would highly recommend you to first of all watch that video and then you can continue watching this video, because both of these two videos are correlated. If you are not very well aware about what is Git, how we can initialize Git, what is Git add, what is Git commit, right, and all these commands, if you are not aware about, then in this video when we will be using these commands, you will not understand everything in a great depth. And for that reason, I am asking you to first of all that video and then you can continue watching this video. So with that said, let's get straight into the system and let's get started with this video. So as in the previous video, we have already talked about that Git, right? That Git is nothing but a version control system, right? That using Git, what we can do is we can control the version of our code, right? And each and everything we have already talked about the version control and everything in the previous video itself, right? That first of all, how we will be initializing our Git using git init command. Then how will I add a single file for getting that particular file to be tracked by Git, right? How will I add commit, okay, and then how I can roll back my commit to a previous phase, right? What is head, what is commit ID, and all these concepts we have already covered in the previous video. Now in this video we will cover a platform, okay? So GitHub is basically a platform that provides us the capability of Git on a remote server, right? So what GitHub did is, so we were having multiple servers, remote server, okay. They installed this git property on these remote servers. Okay, let me do this. Okay, they installed the git on these servers, right? And then they did what? They started to basically provide this particular thing as a service. So I can say as servers with git, okay, something like this, that git is installed on these servers. Cool. And we as a user, what we can do is I can connect to these servers or these remote repositories using internet connection. So if we have internet, okay, we will be able to connect from our, so this we usually call as local, right? From our local system, we will be able to connect to these particular Git servers using what? Using internet. Okay. Now, first of all, where will you find this particular platform? So let me do one thing. Let me go and open my private window. Okay. And here I search for GitHub. Okay. And once you search for GitHub, there will be github.com that will be displayed at the very top, right? And I can just click on this GitHub, right? And you will get a page something like this. Okay. That here what you can do, right? You can write test and fix code quickly with GitHub. Okay, it's promoting the GitHub Copilot plan and all those things, right? And if I see resources, solutions, platform, okay, and why GitHub, if I go into, so you will see, right? Okay, most of the world's code lives on the GitHub. Why not yours, right? So every enterprise, I won't say every enterprise, but most of the enterprises and even the developers, right? The personal developers, they are using GitHub to host their code. How they are hosting their code, I will let you know in a few minutes from now on. Okay. So here you can see Over 90% of the Fortune 100 companies and more than 150 million developers rely on GitHub to deliver scalable, reliable, and secure solution for all sizes of teams. Okay. So this is what developer first. So designed for developers, GitHub offers seamless collaboration tool that makes teamwork smarter, faster, and more secure. Second, it has an enterprise edition or enterprise grade level where GitHub Enterprise scales with your organization, delivering the performance and security needed for a team of any size. And again, AI is also integrated nowadays. Okay, and somewhere I guess you will be able to see. Okay, yes. Right. So here you will be able to see in about GitHub section that GitHub is a cloud-based platform. Right. So just focus here. Cloud-based platform. Similar to what I told you guys right here, that these are servers. These are remote servers that are having the Git capabilities. Okay. Cloud-based based platform where you can store, okay, share and work together with others to write the code. Storing your code in a repository on GitHub allows you to showcase and share your work, track and manage changes in your code over time, right? Let others review your code and make suggestions to improve it. Collaborate on a shared project without worrying that your changes will impact the work of your collaboration before they are ready to integrate them. Now, what are these things that GitHub is talking about? Okay. So this is me, right? This is, let's suppose, Vishal. Okay. So I am working on a project, right? And I have done what? I have created a Git repository. Okay. Let's suppose Euron. Okay. Euron Git demo. This is my repo name. Okay. So repository is basically, you can say, a space, right? Or you can say a directory. You can consider that repository as a folder. Okay, or a directory. So this repository is a directory where you will store your code, where you will basically push your code. What is this pushing of code? I will let you know, right, in a while itself, right? So, okay, let me do one thing. Let me add it here itself. Okay, so this is Vishal's local system or local laptop. Okay. Now I am doing some kind of code. I am writing some code. So I can write some code here. Right. And I am pushing this code to this particular repository. Okay. So I did some kind of coding here in my local system. And I did what? Using some code. And what are these codes? I will let you know. I have pushed that particular code to the repository, that is Euron Git demo. Okay. Now what I did, I made few more changes, right? I made few more changes in this code. And then what I did again, I pushed that particular code to the repository again. Okay, something like this. And we are already aware about the fact that it will start creating some kind of commits, right? It will start creating some kind of commits like this when we will push the code, right? When we will push the code. So we are aware up till here, right? It has created these commits. Now let's suppose my friend also wants to join me in this particular project. Okay, so let's suppose, okay, let's say Sudhanshu wants to join. So Sudhanshu's local system. Okay. Now what he will do is, okay, and I want him to first of all know that, okay, I have done this much work. Now you do what? You get these files or get these code onto your local system. So he will run a command, something called as git pull. Okay, what is this command? I will show you practically also. But as soon as he will run this particular git pull command, what will happen? First of all, he will obviously connect to this particular repository, right? He will connect to this repo. Let me do one thing. Let me connect it to this repo. Okay. So Vishal's local has been connected to this repo. Now Sudhanshu will do what? He from his local will again connect to this particular repository. Now right? And now as soon as he runs this git pull command, it will do what? It will pull whatever code is residing on this particular repository to his local system. And now he can also visualize the same code that is there on his laptop. Okay, the code that was existing here, it will be present on his laptop now. Now let's suppose if I am using some kind of color, let's say this green color is committed by me. Okay, so this is, let's say, Vishal's commit. Okay, both of these commits are my commit, right? Now Sudhanshu makes some kind of change on his local system, and he does what? Now he pushes the code again to the repository, right? He has made some kind of change on his local, right? He feels that, okay, this thing can be made better, and now he pushed the code back to the GitHub repository, right? Now situation is what? There is one more commit that has been made, right? There is one more commit that has been made from this commit to this commit, and this commit is now made by Sudhanshu. So let's suppose I make it this color or maybe blue color, something like this. Okay, so this is what? This is Sudhanshu's commit. Okay, so this is his commit. Now I will do what? I will again run git pull, and then code that is present. So this is now my head. So what is this head? I guess you guys are aware about if you have seen the previous video, right? So currently my head is at this commit, right? This is the head of my commit, right? Now I will do what? I will run the git pull command, and the code and the commit that was made by Sudhanshu at this point will come back to my local laptop. Okay, so I can now view the latest code that has been pushed by Sudhanshu, right? So this, I will run a command called as, here also as git pull. Okay, and the latest version of the code will be available on my local laptop. So you can see here, right? I can collaborate with people, right? I can add, so here we are 2. I can add 10 people, 15 people, right? 20 people, whatever I like, how many collaborators I want to add, I can add it to my repository, and we all can work together on one single project, right? Maybe on different features and like that, depending on the situation. Okay, so this collaboration is allowed by which platform? It's allowed by GitHub. So this is what it wanted to show you guys here, that we can collaborate on a shared project without worrying about the changes that has been changes that will impact your work collaborator before you are ready to integrate them. How we will be integrating them? Okay, so there is a concept called as branching. So we will look or we will read about it in the like in this video itself after some time. Okay, now how we will do the review code. So again, when we will read about the branching, then only I will be talking about the code review also, right? Track and manage changes of your code over time, right? So this is how I can track and manage the code, right? So earlier this was the version 1 of my code, this was the version 2 of my code. Then I added Sudhanshu as a collaborator, or you can say as a fellow developer in my repository, right? And like adding fellow developer and collaborator are the same thing. In on GitHub, we usually call them as collaborator, right? So I have added Sudhanshu as a collaborator, and then he pushed some kind of code, right? And then this new commit, and the current version of my code is the version 3 that is last done by Sudhanshu, right? So this is how we can track and manage the changes over time, and we can showcase the work by using what? I can just share this particular repository with anyone, and if it is a public repository, so there are 2 types of repositories, public repository and private repository. I will also talk about it. So if it is a public repository, in that case, the code will be visible to everyone. Okay, so this is how basically GitHub helps us to create a collaborative working environment with a feature to track and manage the changes, also showcasing our work that we have done. Okay, so collaborative working, one of the GitHub fundamental features, is made possible by the open source softwares Git upon which GitHub is built, right? So you can see right here that GitHub is built on top of Git. So this is the major difference. So Git is the technology, right, on top of which GitHub as a platform is built. And GitHub again provides many more features on top of Git. Okay. So there are a few features on GitHub that is not a part of Git, but it is provided by GitHub themselves. Here again you can see that Git is a version control system that uh, intel- int- intelligently tracks changes in files. Git is particularly useful when you and a group of people are all making changes to same file at the same time, right? Typically, you do this in a Git based workflow. You follow what you create a branch of the main copy of the files that you and your collaborator are working on. Make edits to the files independently and safely on your own personal branch. Let Git intelligently merge your specific changes back to the main copy of the files, so your changes does not impact the other people's update. Keep a track of your and other people's changes, so you stay working on the up to date version of the project. Okay, now what are these things, branching and all those things? Let's learn about it, right? So I will do what? Okay, or before doing this thing, so I guess we all are aware about commits, right? We all are aware about commits. So let me copy it, something like this. Okay, now I am working in a collaborative environment. Okay, or let me do it in this way. Let me do it in this way, right? This is a commit, right? This is, let's say, commit one that was made by me. Okay, so this commit, you can say, was made by me. Okay, now I did what? I made a second commit, right? And this is my main branch. Okay, this is my main branch. Okay, so again, second commit was made. So I will do what? This commit will be here and commit 2 will be captured here, right? Again, I let's suppose make a third commit. So I can do here, right? Commit 3, commit 3. Okay, it's done here. And I can do it like this. Now let's suppose Sudhanshu makes a fourth commit, right? So Sudhanshu has made the fourth commit. Now let's suppose he has made the fourth commit. Okay, now let's say I make a commit. Okay, I made 2 commits. Now Sudhanshu has made a commit and so on. Like this, let's suppose this is kind of a tree that we are working on. Okay, this is the tree that we are working on. Now let's suppose I say that I want to delete I want to roll back Sudhanshu's commit. Okay, whatever code commit has been made by Sudhanshu, I want to roll it back, right? So how will I able to do it, right? So if I roll back the commit till here, right, so I will also lose my commit, right? If I, so currently head is here, right? This is my head for right now, right? Now if I change this head to this particular commit, in that case I will also lose my commit, right? And now if I want to roll back, so if I roll back this commit, then I will have to roll back this commit, then this commit, then this commit, and then this commit, right? In that case also, right, in that case also I am losing my commits also, right? But I only want, right, that uh, I roll back only Sudhanshu's commit. So in this case, and to avoid this particular situation, what we usually do is we create branches. Okay, and what are those branches? So let's suppose this is my main branch. Okay, and I will from this main branch, okay, this is my main branch, and let me make this main branch as, let's say, orange. Okay, so from this main branch I will do what? I will create a new branch that will be, let's suppose, Vishal's branch. Okay, and from this main branch itself, right, from this main branch itself there will be one more branch that will be, let's suppose, Sudhanshu's branch. Okay, now things will work like this, that Sudhanshu has done some commits, okay, and I have done some commits, something like this. Okay, and I will do what? I will do it something like this. Okay, and same goes with Sudhanshu, right? And now, so this is, let's suppose, feature one. Okay, this is feature one, right, that he has worked on, and let's suppose this is feature two that I have worked on. Okay, cool. And now I feel like, or even Sudhanshu feels like that, okay, his job is now done. So he will do what? He will create a merge request. Okay, he will create a merge request, and it will do what? The merge request will do what? It will create a single commit for all these three commits. Okay, it will create a single commit, and it will combine all these three commits, and it will be merged to the main branch. Okay, it will be merged to the main branch, and let's suppose merge message can be feature one done, something like this. Okay, so this is what the merge request is, or the merge message is, right? Now it's the same thing will be done here also, that like once I feel like that, okay, uh, my code has been done and my feature has been created, so I will create a merge request to the main branch, and this whole merge request will do what? Sorry, it will combine all these merges, sorry, all these three or four commits into one single commit, and then it will commit it to the main branch. Okay, it will commit it to the main branch, and it will be added something like this, and here I can give the message as, let's say, feature 2 done. Okay, now if you see, okay, now if comes a condition that, okay, I want to drop this feature 2, right, I want to drop this feature 2. Let's suppose there is some issue, and maybe the client is not liking it for whatever reason. I want to drop this feature 2. So what I will do is I will just drop this one single commit, right? So currently my head is here, right? So I will change my head from here to here. That's it, right? My head will be changed from this commit to this commit. That's it. And then this commit will be dropped, right? This commit will be dropped. So you can see how easy it is to roll back when we are going ahead with the branching part, right? And also what usually happens is when we create this branching thing, right? So we don't name the branch like this. So this I have shown you guys to just in explanation way. So usually we have something called as some I would say recommendations, right, to create the branch name. So we create something like this. So for features, if we have features, so we usually write something as feet. Okay, if we have some kind of bug, so we write it as, let's say, bug, right? If there is some kind of test, okay, let me do one thing. Let's say branch naming convention, if I search for, okay, and if I open this thing, so here I have read it. Yeah, you see here, right? So for feature, let me just copy and paste it here itself. Copy and paste. Okay, So if there is any work in progress, and work in progress of what stuff I know won't be finished soon. Okay, if there is something I know that okay, this feature will take a long time to be finished, so I will do what? Let's suppose working WIP. Okay, ML model integration, something like this. I will name the branch, right? It means this particular thing will take some time. The work is in progress, and what work is in progress? The ML model integration is in progress. Okay, let's suppose I want to add a feature, so I will do what? Feature slash, let's say, dashboard. Okay, this will be the branch that I will create. It means I am adding a feature, right? I am so this branch is a feature branch, and which feature am I working on? I am working on dashboard. Same goes with bug. Okay, bug. Let's say as login. Okay, there is some bug in login. It means yeah, fix the bug or experimental, right? So feature I am adding or expanding. So feat means feature I am so bug again, right? So if there is any kind of bug, any kind of issue that we want to fix, so I will create a new branch for it, something like bug slash login. Same goes with junk. So throwaway branch created for experiment, right? So I can say junk slash whatever I can do, maybe uh, a password less login. Okay. I was just trying to do some kind of experiment, right, for a passwordless login, right? So I will create as junk slash password less login, right? So based on what kind of job do I have to do, I will go on to that particular branch. If I show you guys some example, right? What example can I show? Okay, let's say open source repositories. Okay, trending open source repository. Let's open it. Okay, is there anything in Python? Okay, bitnet LLM is there in Python. Okay, let's open it. So here you can see there is this main branch, right? And from this main branch you will see, right, that there is something as fix convert dev, right? It means it is in dev, right? You can see here, right, some paper. Okay, if I go on view all branches, okay, so currently you can see, right, paper and GPU dev, readme dev, fix convert dev, and so on. So this dev you can say can be equivalent to this feature branch, right? So there will be different naming conventions. It's not that it's necessary to use this particular thing, but it's good if you do it. Okay. Okay, let me open this box Q1, box CHQ1. Not very sure what it is. Okay. Stale, or I can go on all. Okay, so here you can also see, so here the branching is something like this: main branch, development branch, release branch, integrated onboarding branch, JWT, JWT to DB branch, and like that. Okay. Okay, got it. All right. Same goes with, let's say you can use cal.com, right? dub.sh, right? One of the most famous GitHub repositories. Let's see what their branching convention is. So partner, PayPal. Okay, you can see here, right? Link filter, Zod uses. So according to, okay, you can see right here. Okay, if I go to view all branches, right? Active, you will see here. Okay, they are naming their branch based on the job they are doing, right? Partner social verification, Zod v4, submitted filter referral, group move, and so on, right? You can see their stale branches, right? Google One Tap, monitoring, QR, S3, and so on, right? And this branching is done how? So once, let's suppose this feature has been created, I will delete this branch. Okay, once this feature has been created, let's suppose I have created a new branch as featured one dashboard. right? And once this dashboard will be created, I will remove this branch, and then once I remove this branch, it will go into this stale section. It means that like after obviously merging it, okay, once this branch will be created and I have merged this particular branch to it, so I will do what? I will basically remove this particular branch, okay, and it will go into this stale section. If it is not yet merged and the work is going on, you will be able to see that particular thing in this active branch, right? And like that. Again in candle.com you can see, so here you can see the same thing, right? Feature slash booking audit, right? Feature like this, and maybe you can see, right, you can see fix, okay, fix slash something like that, right? Maybe some other naming convention, you can see PR, pull request, right? And like that. So different repositories have different kind of naming conventions, but you can write your branch in this way. That will be of great help, okay? Like for work in progress, you can write WIP. For feature, you can see FEAT bug slash your bug name, and junk slash your whatever experiment you want to basically do. So this is how you can name your branches. That will be of great use to you guys. Cool. So now let's do one thing. Let's okay. First of all, let me tell you how we will be able to create a GitHub repository. Okay. So what you can do is you guys can go back to github.com. Okay. github.com. Okay. And then you can just click on sign up. Right. You can enter your email. You can enter your password. You can enter your username. Right. Your country, and then just click on this create account. As easy as just creating any other kind of social media account. It is as easy as like creating a GitHub account. And once you have done this, you will be redirected, I guess, to the login page or sign up page, or you will be directly redirected to the dashboard. And your GitHub account dashboard will look something like this. Not exactly like this, right? So I have like created this particular account, right? I have done a few things on this particular account, and that's the reason it's looking like this. You will maybe seeing some kind of blank stuff here, right? You will be seeing some kind of blank stuff here, and here you will see your overview, means what is your profile, right? You can add about your profile here, just like I have added about myself, right? Then there will be your repository section, so you can add the repositories, and whatever repositories you will be creating and you will be working on, it will be available here, right? If you have created any projects, so it will be visible and available here. If you have published any package, right, if you have published any package, it will be available here. And if you have starred any particular repositories, all the star repositories will appear here in the star section. Okay. So what, first of all, for the very first time, what you guys will have to do is you guys will have to go to this repositories section, and you can create a new repository, right? Once you will create a new repository, you will have to name a repository, right? So here you will be the owner, right? And you will be basically your profile will only be there if you have not created any other organization or something, right? So you will be the owner of this particular repository, and you can name a repository as, let's suppose, Euron git demo, like this, okay? And if you want to add any kind of description, you can add a description that, let's suppose, this repo is created for demo purpose. Okay, that's it. Now you can choose the visibility. So if you want to make it public, so anyone will be able to view this particular repository, whoever will have the link of the repository, he will be able to view each and everything. He will be able to view your commits, he will be able to view your source code and everything. If you want to make it closed, and if you want to make it private, so you can make it private also, but I will keep here it as public. If you want to start with some kind of template, means if you have already some kind of templates created for you, so you can use those templates, else it's totally fine. You can add some kind of readme file if you want to, okay? And if you want to add some longer description, and if you want to add more information about the repository, you can add it in the readme file. Then there is something called as .gitignore. Okay, so moving forward, I will let you know about .gitignore licensing. Let's not focus too much on it. And I will just click on this create repository, right? I will click on this create repository. So it will take a few seconds and it will create me a repository, right? And you can see here one commit has been already been done. Why? Because I created a readme file. Let me do one thing. Let me first of all delete this repository because I want to show you something. Okay. So how you can delete this repository, you can also see, right? So let's say this is your repository and now you want to delete this particular repository. So you will do what? You will go on to the settings. Okay. You will go on to the settings and then you will scroll down and you will see here something as delete this repository, and you will click on this repository. Yes, I want to delete this repo. I have read that it will not be reverted. I can just copy it. I can paste the repository name here and I can click on this delete this repository and it will be okay. I will have to enter my password. Let me enter my password, confirm, and it has been deleted. Okay, so you can see your repository, this was successfully deleted. I can close this. I can create a new repository with the same name. So let me remove this name, right? And I will create the repository. So you can see here, once I created the repository without any kind of template, without any kind of readme file, this particular repository is a blank repository. Means we are not having anything in this repository currently. So what I will have to do is I will first of all have to add this particular repository to my local system, right? Now I want to do what? Okay, I open my MongoDB. Okay, I want to do what? I want to push the code, this code to GitHub, right? This git demo folder. I want to now push it to the GitHub. Okay. So I will do what? I will have to create a connection, as I have already told you, right? That this is my local laptop and this, okay, let me do it in this way. Okay, server, right? So there is this remote server, I'm not even aware about the location where this remote server is. Let's suppose this remote server is in USA, right? And on this remote server, a repository named as this Euron git demo has been created. Okay. So this Euron git demo repository has been created on some kind of remote server. And currently with my laptop, I am sitting here in India. Okay. And currently the folder name that I want to connect to this particular repository is what? It's git demo, right? So I will do what? This git demo folder I want to basically connect to my repository that I have created on this particular remote server, or I would say GitHub remote server, I can say. Okay. So this remote server belongs to whom? This belongs to GitHub. Okay. Cool. Now I want to create a connection between them. I can only push the code only when I have created some kind of connection. Okay. Let me do it in this only. Okay. So I will have to create a remote connection, right? Between this and the server, right? So how will I able to create a remote connection? So you can see, if you want to create a new repository on the command line, right, using terminal, you can do this. Else, if you want to push an existing repository from the command line, you can do this. So we have already created, right? We already have our repository created here, not a repository, but there is a folder that has been created here, and I want to push this particular folder or repository to the remote repository that we have here on the USA server, right? So I will do what? I will use this one. Okay. So I will use this command, that is git remote, okay, add origin, and the origin will be this particular link, right? So this link belongs to, this whole link is an address to this particular repository. Okay. So it is a address of this particular repository, right? And I'm telling that you create a connection from my remote, right? From my remote and add it as an origin, right? So I will do what? I will just copy this command. I will come here in the terminal and I will paste it. Okay. And I will press enter. Done. Then I will do what? Uh, Get branch -m main means I want to make main as my main branch. So Control Shift V and enter. Done. And now I will do what? Git push -u origin and main. Okay, so -u means user, right? So I will do what? Copy, Control C, P, and I will push. I will click enter. And as soon as I click enter, right, you will see something has been done, right? So enumerating 12 objects, right? Counting objects, delta compression was done, something was done. And now you will see that from remote, that is this local laptop. So this is my remote, right? This is my remote. Remote, okay? It has been from my remote, it has been done to what? It has been pushed to this particular link, which is nothing but my Euron Git demo, right? And now if I come back here, right, on this particular repository, and if I refresh it, so you will notice one thing. You will notice what? You will see that there are 4 commits, right? You will see that there are 4 commits that has been listed here. And if I click here, right, so you can see the very same commit that was done by me here, right? If I click on this Git graph, okay, so you can see here that the first commit was, this is my first commit, right? And the very same thing you can see here, right? This is my first commit. It was done 5 days ago, right? So I am recording this particular video after a few days, right? I had to take a class and all those things. So you can see here, this particular commit was made 5 days ago, right? Again, the second commit was done what? Added file1.py. And the same thing you can see right here, that added file1.py. Right, the third commit was this, right, modified utils.py. So modified utils.py, and the fourth commit was what? Rollback. So you can see the fourth commit as rollback here. Means whatever commit, whatever code changes, whatever current existing code is on my local, now it is there on my GitHub also. Okay, and this particular, if I want, let's suppose Sudhanshu or any other friend of mine to access this particular repository, I can just copy this particular link, I can share it to him, and he will be able to access this particular repository of mine, right? Now let me do one thing. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me simulate it. Okay, so I will do what? I am creating, let's suppose, file 2.py. Okay, and let me write here something like this, that this code is done by Sudhanshu. Okay, so I'm just simulating. Okay, so let's suppose def, right, anything I can do, right, def multiply, right, a plus b return multiplication, and like that, right? And now I will do what? Okay, so you can see here currently this particular file is an untracked file, correct? So I will do what? I will add it first of all to tracking. So I can do what? Git add. I can either pass the file path, or I can do what? Git add dot. It means all the file that is currently exists in this git-demo folder, track all the files. So I will click enter, and you can see now this status has been changed to index added, right? Now I will do what? Git commit -m, and let's say I'm saying as code added by Sudhanshu. Okay, and I will enter. Okay, now things has been done. Now I will do what? I will push this particular code. So git push origin. So origin is what? From my local system, right, to which branch? To main branch. Okay, and I will push enter. Now you can see the code has been pushed. Okay, and now if I come here and if I refresh this, so you will see there are 5 commits that has been made, right? And if I go to here in file 2, you will see that this code has been done by Sudhanshu, right? Now, like, this particular thing is, I guess, clear that how we can basically collaborate. So even though I am using the same system, right, the same thing would be done by, if let's suppose we were 2 people, right? Or let me simulate in this way also. Okay, let me simulate in this way. Let's suppose on this file 2, right, I will do what? Let me change some things here. Okay, so this line got added by Sudhanshu's local system. Okay, and I can say here as, let's suppose, hello, like this, anything. Okay, and I can do what? I can commit the changes. Okay, so commit changes, right? And now you can see here that currently on my GitHub there are total 6 commits, right? So add print statement and white space in file 2.py, right? And this is done by whom? So we are assuming that this is done by Sudhanshu. If I come back to my local, right, and here if I do as git log, right, hyphen hyphen one line, if I say, sorry, git log hyphen hyphen one line, and if I press enter, so currently you can see my head is where on my local system. It is on this particular commit itself, that is code added by Sudhanshu, that is this commit itself. Currently I am not having this piece of code, right? If I click on it, right, and if I come back here, so in file 2, right, currently I am not having these lines of code, right? Currently I am not having these lines of code. So for fetching these lines of code, I will do what? I will have to run a command that is called as git pull. Okay, remote is my origin, right? And I will have to pull from which branch? I will have to pull from main branch, right? So I will do what? Git pull origin main. And if I press enter, now you will see that the line automatically got added here, right? And now if I do git log one line again, so now you will see that the head has been changed to here, right? Currently the head was, like, before pulling, the head was on the commit 3E9, right? But now the head has been changed to 10F4 and like that. Cool. So this is how we can use GitHub for, first of all, the collaborative thing and collaborating functioning. Okay. So now I hope you guys have understood the concept of branching. Oh, sorry, understood the concept of pull and push, right? So push is when we will be pushing our code. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Let me copy this whole thing again. Okay, like this. Okay, and so this is my Git server, sorry, GitHub server, I can say. Okay, so now when I want to get the code, right? So just in the similar way, when Sudhanshu pushed the code, right, from his local system. Okay, so it happened in this way, right? So let's suppose this is what's happening. Okay, this is Vishal's local system, right? And this is Sudhanshu's local system, right? Or you can say remote system. Okay, now Sudhanshu did what? He pushed the code. Okay, he did what? Git push origin main. Okay, so the code was from Sudhanshu's local. Okay, code from his system got pushed onto the server. Okay, now I want to do what? I want to get this code onto my system, right? So I will do what? To get the code from the server to my local system, I will do what? Git pull. Okay, I can do git pull also, or I can do what? Git pull origin main, something like this also, right? But only git pull will be sufficient enough to pull the code. Okay, so let me do what? Let me just keep it. Okay, something like this. Now once I do git pull, the code that is, so here the code will exist only, right? And a clone of this particular code, right, will be made in my local, and this code that is existing here, it will be existing here itself, right? Here in Sudhanshu's local also, if the code is there, it will be there. It's not that the code will cut paste from here. It will basically create a copy of that particular version of code here, right? So this is what basically git pull and git push is. Okay, now if I want, I have made some changes and I want to push the code, so I will do what? Git. So from my local, when I will push it to GitHub, it is git push. And when from GitHub, I have to get it into my local, so I will do what? I will do git pull. So I hope these concept of push and pull is now clear with all of you, right? Now comes the branching part. Okay, now comes the branching concept that I was explaining to you guys. Okay, so for creating a new branch, right? So if I open my git bash, okay, so you can see here currently I am working on the main branch, right? Now I want to create, if I want to create a new branch, I will do what? Git branch. Okay, and I will give a branch name. So let's suppose I'm giving a branch name as feature slash feature 1. Okay, and now I will do what? I will check out. So git checkout and branch name. So feature slash okay, git checkout feet slash feet 1. Okay, and I will click on this, and now you can see switch to the branch, this branch, and now if you see here, this branch is here, and instead of this main branch, now you can see there is this feature branch that we are now working on. But if I come back to my GitHub, right? If I come back to my GitHub repository, and if I click on this drop down, you will not be able to see this feature branch right now. Why? Because we have not pushed anything, or we have not committed anything to the feature branch as of now. As soon as I commit anything, okay, if I do what? Let's suppose I have made some changes now. Okay, I am adding a new file as, let's say, feature1.py. Okay, let's say def login, right? And I am returning, okay, login feature implemented, something like this. Okay, and now I will do what? I will do the same thing, git add, right? I can, if I want to add only this feature file only, right? If I only want to this add feature1.py, so I can name that particular file, else I will do what? Git add dot. Okay, and if I will press enter, now it has been added. Now git commit -m, right? And also, okay, I will show you, don't worry. Okay, -m, so feature 1 implemented. Okay, this is my commit message, and now I will do what? Git push. Okay, origin, right? Origin is my local system, right? So from my local system, I have to push it to where? Now I have to push it to feature1 branch, right? I have to now push it to this particular branch, not the main branch, right? And I will press enter, right? So now the code has been pushed, and now if I come here, right, and if I refresh it, and now if I click on this drop down, now you will see this feature/feature1 branch is available, and here also you will see something there is written as compare and pull. So I will let you know what this compare and pull is. First of all, let's go into this feature branch. And also if you see here, there are currently 6 commits, right? There are currently 6 commits on my main branch. And now if I go to this feature/feature1 branch, you will see there are 7 commits. There are 7 commits and currently, right? But here we only did one commit. You may ask me that here I did only one commit. I created a new branch, right? Git branch feature1. This is where the branch got created, right? I checked out to the branch, right? And then I made up one single commit. How I am getting 7 commits here? It's because how this branching works is, okay. So earlier on my main branch, so let's suppose this is my main branch, right? So we had this 6 commits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? Or maybe I can do it in this way. Why the ad is not coming here? Okay. Right. So these were the 6 commits. And if I talk about, sorry, here, if I go back to my main branch, so this was the last commit, right? This was the last commit that was done on my main branch. Now I did what? I created a new branch out of this feature branch, right? So here feature/feature1 branch got created, right? So it did what? It created a copy of this particular thing right here. Okay. It created a copy of my main branch, right? So this feature branch got created from the main branch itself, right? It created a clone. And now when I added, right, one more commit, right? So this is the, you can say, the extra commit that I have currently added. That is this one, feature1 implemented, right? So this commit is feature1 implemented, right? Now I will have to do what I have, or maybe let me do one thing. Okay, feature1 implemented, right? And I am doing some change. Let's say a def logout. This logout system has also been implemented, and I'm doing what? Git add dot, right, and git commit -m. Let's suppose new functionality added, something like this. Okay, and now I am doing what? Git push origin, sorry, git push origin feature/feature1, right? And now one more commit has been added here. Okay, so control C, control V, right? One more commit has been added here, right? Now if I add one more commit, right? So more features added, like this, okay? And then I can do the same thing, okay? And git push feature1. So one more commit got added here, right? So basically now I have done what? I have added 3 commits, and the last commit is what? New functionality added, like this, right? So this is the last commit that I have done on my feature/feature1 branch. So you can see here, now there are total 9 commits, and here you are also getting a message that this branch is 9 commits ahead of the main branch, right? It's totally true. Here in the graph also, if you will look, so it is totally true that this feature one branch, let me keep it here only so that you guys can understand about it. Okay, so it was from here, it created here. Okay, something like this, right? So you can see it's totally true, right? That this feature one branch is 3 commits ahead of the main branch, right? It means we are getting, or we are going on the correct track. Now it's showing us what, that compare and pull. Okay, it's saying us to compare and pull. Now if I compare, pull and merge it, it will do what? As I have already told you that for all these 3 commits, it will create a one single large commit. Okay, if I do something like this, it will create one large commit combining all these 3 commits. Okay, it will combine this commit. Okay, it will combine this commit and it will combine this commit. Okay, and it will create one single commit. Let me show you. Okay, so if I see compare and pull, okay, and if I click here on create pull request, okay, so you will see here that I can add some kind of description, right? There will be some kind of checks that will be done, right? And here if you see, so this commit has 3 commits inside it. Okay, this commit has 3 commits inside it, and I can also view all those commits, right? If I click on this, I can view the first commit, right? So this commit, that was what, new functionality added, right? So this commit was done by adding these lines of code, right? If I go back, right, if I see this commit, that feature one implemented, so I can see, right, that function login was created and I return this particular line as login function implemented, right? So I can go on to check on to next commit, this one, and this is what exactly we call as a code review, right? So once I am working on a feature, right, and I have submitted and I have told or basically raised a pull request, in that case the person who is sitting at top of me, means maybe my fellow developer, or maybe my what I would say, a developer who is senior to me, right? He will be reviewing my code. He will check that, okay, if I have done my job correctly or not. If not, what he will say me, that okay, Vishal, you have not implemented this thing correctly, right? You have not implemented this thing correctly. Add a few things more, right? So I will do what? I will say okay, right? I will come here. So let's say I am adding more line, that okay, I can do what? Changes made as suggested by senior. Okay, senior developer, right? I made the changes. Sorry, I have made the changes as suggested by the senior developer, right? And I will do what? Okay, sir, I have made the change. Okay, so git add dot, right, git commit hyphen m, so changes made as per suggestion, let's say. Okay, and I will do what? Git push origin. Okay, what doing? Origin each slash feature one and enter, right? And now what happened is, here I created one more commit. I created one more commit, right? And the new commit is now here, that is having what? This thing, right? So this is the commit ID that this commit is having. And now if I go back, right, if I go back to my GitHub, right, and if I come back to this GitHub demo thing, right, and I can do what? I can come back to my feature, okay, So currently now you can see here it's saying that it's 4 commit ahead of the main, and here one pull request is open, right? So I will do what? I will come here, right, and I will see here, right? I will see here, and now you can see there are now 4 commits that has been added to this particular thing, and changes made as per the suggestion I have done, right? So I have done the changes made as per senior developer, and now he is happy with my work. Now what he will do is, okay, what he will do is he will come here, he will scroll down, right, and he will do what? He will merge this particular pull request, and as soon as I merge this particular pull request, there will be a commit message, right? So pull request one done by this, right, Vishal Singh feature slash feature one, right, and something like this. If I want, I can give some kind of added description also, and I can just confirm on, like, a click on confirm merge, and as soon as I click on this confirm merge, right, so we'll see pull request successfully merged and closed, and I am also getting an option to delete this branch, right? As I already told you that once the feature will be implemented, right, usually what developers do is they delete the branch, right? So let me not delete it right now, and once I come on this code part, right, so you will see here now the total number of commits has been changed to 11, right? The total number of commits has been changed to 11, right? And you will be able to see the commits right here, right? And these commits got added in my main branch. So here if I see, so this commit got added here to my main branch. So it got added here, right? Cool. So this is what basically the concept of branching and merging is, right? So this is how we will be basically creating a branch, right? So there is now a concept of something called as merging and something called as rebasing. So currently we did what? We did a kind of rebase thing, right? What rebasing is, if you see here, so we have added everything, right? So feature one implemented, got added, right? Function, new function added, got implemented, new function got added, and these things. So these commits were from the branch that we were having. So these 4 commits are the commits that are from the branch that we were having of the feature one, right? So it has done what? It has done in this way, that it has added these 4 commits, delete, okay, it has added these 4 commits here like this on my main branch, right? And then this is the commit, the last commit that is currently there, that is this one, this pull merge pull request one, okay. Okay, so this one is the commit, right? Now, so this is called rebasing. This concept is called as rebasing. Okay, this is rebase. Now what exactly merge is? So merge is, as I told you, that it will merge all these commits into one single commit, right? And then it will push that particular one single commit. So let me show you that particular thing again, right? So let me do what? Let me create a new branch now. So I will do what? And how we can create the branch in one single command is git checkout. Okay, hyphen b means I have to create a new branch, and I can name my branch as, let's suppose, bug slash anything. Okay, bug slash, let's suppose, feature one. Okay, I have created this branch, no worries. Okay, now I will do what? Okay, I will do what? I will first of all git checkout. Okay, sorry, because I have done it in the single command, so I have now already checked out to the bug slash feature one command, right? So I will create a new file, let's suppose, as bug hyphen fix dot py, right? So here again I will do something. Okay, let's suppose def fix bug fix bug. Okay, So again, I can return bug fixed successfully and so on, right? And now I will do what? Git add dot, right? So that it first of all starts to track this particular file, right? So git add, okay. Then git commit -m. So one bug fixed successfully, something like this, okay. And then I will do what? Git push origin, okay, git push origin bug slash feature one. Cool. And now if I come back here on my GitHub repository, right, again you will see, right, there has been something pushed to the bug slash feature one, which is not currently there in my main here, right? So here you can see that okay, this is feature slash feature one, bug slash feature one. I will have to go, right? So in bug slash feature one, you will see that one bug has been fixed successfully, right? And you can see this commit is one commit ahead and one commit behind main branch, okay. So first of all, if I want to make it exactly to the main branch, I will do what? Git pull origin main, okay. So there is some kind of merge message, okay. So I will do what? I will just close this file. And now you can see the pull request has been done successfully, okay. And now if I come back here and I will have to push, I believe, yes, let me push it. So something like this. So git add, git commit, okay, git push. Now I have done two commits, okay. So let me do one thing. So okay, sorry, currently I will have, like, I have created what? I have created control C, control bug slash feature one, right? This is the branch that I have created. And now till here I have all the things, right? And I have added two commits here. So let me change the color also. So let's say this is this color, purple. Let me change it to red. Bug is red, so let me change it to red, okay. And I have added two more commits to this bug branch, correct? Done. And now if I refresh it, you can see now it is three commits ahead. Why? Because first of all, sorry, yeah, my bad. First of all, it did what? I did the pull request, right? So this got added here, right? So before this, right? So this branch got, it got added here, and now this got added, okay. Now let me do one more commit, one last commit, something as I have added something print fix bug and like that, okay. So again git add, okay, git commit. So let's say bug fix closed, okay. And git push origin, push origin bug slash feature one, enter, right? So now again I have added one more commit. Cool. So now this is the current state of my whole repository, right? This is the current state of my whole repository. So this feature one is rebase, and now I will do what? I will merge, right? So what I will do is now I will try to merge this particular feature one branch using the CLI, right? I will try to merge this particular thing using the CLI. So I will do what? Git merge, and merge which branch? Bug slash feature one. Okay, and I will press enter. Okay, oh sorry, first of all, before that I will have to do what? Git checkout. So to which branch do I have to merge? I have to merge it to the main branch, right? So I have checked out to my main branch, right? Now I will do what? Git merge, git merge, and to which branch do I have to merge it to? Git hyphen feature, sorry, a bug hyphen feature one. And as soon as I press enter, now you will see it has basically merged the branch here. And now if I go back to my GitHub, right, and if I come to my, okay, if I come to my main branch, okay, uh, okay, sorry. So, okay, so the merging has been done. Now what I will have to do is I will have to push it, right? The current state of my main branch, I will have to push it. So git add dot, right? And git commit hyphen m, right? So bug slash feature one branch merged, right? And then git saying it's working on a on main branch, nothing to commit, working on a clean tree. Okay, so I can do git push origin main. Okay, and now if I come back here and maybe if I refresh it, okay, so you can see here now the bug fix has been closed. And if I open this, okay, bug fix closed. Okay, technically it should not do it. Did I make any mistake or what? Okay, let me do one thing. Commit versus rebase, if I say, in creating commit saves a snapshot of your work locally and creating a rebase writes the history by moving the branch commits to a new base, right? That's exactly what I have. So new base. Okay, so if I go to images, right? So very big. Okay, so git branch after normal merge, it will do what? It will do this. Okay, it will add and normal merge. Okay, git branch after rebase and merge. After a after squash and merge. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so what it has done, guys, basically what now it will do is if I'm doing rebase, right? So it did what? So rebase is this thing only, and here it's merge. Okay, Why merge? Because it added these commits, right? It added these commits, correct? And it created a new single commit out of these commits, and it added that commit also, right? Whereas in rebase, what it did is it only added these three commits, right? It did what? It added these three commits ahead of it. So control C, control V, control V, right? Like this, and like this. Okay, and it was what? It was of color red. Okay, it was of color red. So if I come back here in my commit also, so you will only see right, that bug one fixed, right? No. Okay, I have ran here git merge, right? Where did it go? Yeah, git merge. Then how will it be? It will be doing rebase. Okay, so this is also merge only. Okay, it is also merge only, and it basically did the same thing. Okay, my bad. And now let me show you the rebase part of it. Okay, now let me show you the rebase part. So let me do one thing. More. Okay, more lines added, or I can say as, let's say, line 1, line 2, and so on. Okay, so let me do what? Get checkout bug slash feature one branch. Okay, and then get add dot hyphen hyphen get commit. Okay, get commit hyphen m. That's a new commit. Okay, new commit, right? And let me add line 3. Okay, and let me do the same thing. And before that, let me do one thing. Git push origin bug slash feature one. Okay, done. And now let me add line 3, new commit, let's suppose 2. Okay, and get push origin bug slash feature one, right? Now I have done what? I have added 2 more commits here, right? I have added 2 more commits on my feature slash bug one branch. And now if I come back here on my GitHub, right, and if I come back to this Euron demo, so I should get a message. Okay, you can see here that we are getting a message. Else, if you are not getting this message, what we can do is we can click on this pull request, right? We can click on this pull request and we can click on this new pull request. And here it will ask me to basically compare. So my base branch is main, and I will compare it with the bug slash feature one branch. And you will see here, it will basically list me the changes that I will have to preview. If I change it to feature one branch, right, it will say that there isn't anything to compare. It means my feature slash feature one branch and my main branch are on the same condition, or you can say on the same version, right? So now I will select here a bug slash feature one branch, right? And I will click on this create pull request, right? And I will create the pull request. I can review and I can create the pull request. Okay, so it will do some kind of changes. And now if I click on this drop down, right, we will have certain options. So squash and merge. So the 2 commits of this branch will be combined in one commit in the base branch. Okay, So now I will choose this squash and merge, right? And I will click on this, right? Squash and merge, and I will click on enter, right? So you can see here, bug slash feature one, and some message has been given, and you can see these two commits, right? That is commit, new commit and new commit 2 are squashed together. And if I click on this confirm and squash, and now it has been merged. If I go back to my main branch now, and if I click here, so now you will be seeing that only one commit has been created. Means these two commits, where did it go? These two commits got combined into one single commit. Okay, they got combined into one single commit, right? And this was the only commit that got added here. So only one single commit got added here. Okay, so this is what basically squash and merge is. Okay. Okay, so this was what squash plus merge. Now, if I talk about rebase, right? If I give you or show you the example of rebase, again, okay. Now let me this time do the changes in, let's suppose, feature one dot py. Okay, and here I am writing comment again something else. Let's say feature one added. Okay, then I'm writing in the second comment as feature 2 added, right? And now I'm doing what? So git add, okay, and then I will do git commit -m, or before that let me do, okay, but ultimately if I want to switch it, okay, let me do it in this way itself. So git commit -m, okay, new feature, or you can say feature one dot py changed. Okay, and then I can push it to git push origin bug slash feature one. Okay, so it has been pushed. Now if I go back to my GitHub repository, let me close these things. Okay, so again you can see here, commit 16 got added, and the commit 16 was bug slash feature one. Sorry, this is the main one. Okay, so this is the main branch, and now if I go to bug slash feature one branch, right? So here you will see the commit message as py1 dot feature one dot py file got changed. Okay, and now if I do the same thing again, right? Let's suppose if I add something else, right? Feature re-added, right? And here if I do same thing, git commit -m, right? And here I can do what? Let's say feature 2, right? And feature 3 added. Okay, uh, sorry, git dot, and then git commit, and then git push. Okay, so the git push has now been done, and now if I go back here and if I refresh it, okay, so you will see here that these two commits are made currently, right? That feature one dot py file got changed, and feature 2 and feature 3 added, right? And now if I want to now create a pull request and do a kind of rebase. So currently if you see and if you talk about the merge, so merge has done what? It has added, right? If I see here, it has added first of all the commits that was done in the branch, right? As well as it created a new commit, and using that new commit, pull request was closed. The merge pull request was closed, right? Similar kind of thing was done here again, right? In these four things that we created we did three commits, and the fourth commit was pulled in this way. Now if I talk about squash and merge, so all the commits that we made was combined into one single commit, and that commit was then added to the main branch here, right? So next what happened that in, so this was what, if I talk about, mm, if I talk about these two commits, right? So these two commits were rebasing. Okay. So it was merged in the form of, sorry, again I am doing wrong. It was merged in a form of squash plus merge. Okay. And now talking about the rebasing. So now the current status is that I have added two more commits. Right. I have added two more commits to this particular branch. And now what I want to do is I want to add only these two commits. I don't want that there should be a third commit that should be created for this particular merge. Only these two commits should get added here. So for that I will do what? I will do a rebase. Okay. So I can come back here. I can go on to pull request, right? And here click on new pull request. And from here I will try to compare with the bug slash feature one branch. Okay. So you can see here, okay, there are total four commits that have been made. Okay, now there are total four commits. So I can do what? Create pull request. Okay, I will do create pull request. And now instead of squash and merge, what I will do is I will do rebase and merge. Okay, I will click on rebase and merge. So okay, this branch can't be rebased due to conflict. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me first of all squash and merge only. Okay, so you will see that these three commits will be squashed and merged. So that conflict is because I will have to do what? So this pull request has been successfully done. So I will do what? I will come here and I will do git pull origin main, and I will close this message. Done. And then I can do, okay. And now if I come here and if I go to this branch, why is it still four commits ahead? That feature one is there. Okay, it has been added. If I come back here, if I refresh it, okay, let me do contribute, open pull request, create pull request. Okay, and now if I do rebase and merge, what can be the conflict? Okay, this branch is 3 commits behind main. So I can do what? I can again go to pull request. I can open pull request. Now I will change my base to feature 1, and here I can compare it with main. So you can see here, these are the pull requests that are not there in the main thing, right? So I will do what? I can add a title as, let's suppose, main to bug slash feature 1. Okay, create pull request. Here if I want to rebase, right? So now I am getting the option to rebase and merge. Okay, and now I can just click on rebase and merge, confirm rebase and merge. Okay, so now you will only see these three merges there, right? And if I come back to my code, if I open my bug one, bug slash file one, and if I come back here, so you will be able to see these things, right? So this is how basically we will be able to like, there are three kinds of merges that we will be able to do. First of all, the normal merge, right? The merge that we were doing here, right? Then squash and merge, and then the last kind of merge is the rebasing. Okay, rebasing. Now there is something called as stash. Okay, git stash. So what is this git stash command? Let's understand. Okay, so now let's think of it that I have, let's think of it in this way, that we are having the same condition. Okay, we are having this server, right? We are having one laptop. Okay, and we are having the other laptop. Okay, and now uh this is my GitHub repo, let's suppose, or something, GitHub server, whatever I want to write. Okay, so let's suppose again this is Charles remote. Okay, and this is Sudhanshu's remote. Okay, and now the situation is such that I have written some kind of code. Okay, I have written some kind of code on my local, right? But and I am developing some feature, right? I am developing some feature, but that feature has not been fully developed. And Sudhanshu calls me and says that I have pushed some code. I have pushed some code on the repository, and you pull that particular code. Okay, but this I don't want to push this code. So just see here. Okay, just see in this way. So let's suppose I am working on, so let's say Vishal is working in this file, but code is not yet complete. Okay, so I'm working in this file, but the code is yet not complete, right? And now Sudhanshu calls me and says, let's suppose Sudhanshu has pushed some code. So I guess it was file 2 that Sudhanshu was working on, right? So it is file 2, and Sudhanshu has done here what? That uh, this code is pushed by Sudhanshu and must be pulled by Vishal. Okay. Okay. It's done by Sudhanshu. Done. Okay. So Sudhanshu has added his code, right? And now I should pull this code, right? So if I go to my file 2, right? So the code that has been added by Sudhanshu in file 2 does not exist. So first of all, I will have to do what? Git checkout main, right? Great. And now here you can see, right, that it's not even allowing me to change my branch, right? Because first of all, I will have to commit this particular code, whatever changes I have made to the file. I will first of all have to commit it, and then only I can either switch my branch, or I can pull the code. Okay. So but I don't want to commit because this code is yet not complete. Okay, I don't want to commit it. So in that particular case, there is something called as git stash. Okay, so you can see here, once I say as git stash, so the saved working directory and the index state of work in progress on this at this got saved. Okay, and now I can do what? I can git checkout. Okay, I can git checkout to main. Okay, and then I can do what? I can git pull origin main, git pull origin main. Okay, so now you can see even this feature 1 got added, right? And this file 2 got changed, that this code has been added by Sudhanshu and so on. Okay, and now I can do what? I can again git checkout bug slash feature 1, and now I want to now unstash my changes. Okay, I want to unstash my changes, so I will do what? Git stash apply. Okay, and I will click enter, and now you will see whatever changes were unstashed, sorry, our stashed, now it has been unstashed again. If I show you again, so if I do git stash, so you will just see here very carefully, this line will disappear. Okay, you see the line disappeared, and now I can do maybe I can switch my branch, right? I can maybe do some kind of pull and so on, right? And once that those things are done, I will do what? I will do git stash and apply. Okay, I will press enter, and now those changes are now back on the is back, and it's basically visible to me. And now once the code has been done, right, so Vishal is working on but not yet complete, so I can mark it as and is complete. Okay, so once it is complete, I can do the same thing, right? Git add, right? Git commit -m, so updated by Vishal, right? And git push origin bug slash feature 1, and that's it. It will be pushed. Okay, so this is what stash is all about, that if we have made any changes and we don't want to commit it, uh, and if we want to basically uh, switch our branch, or maybe pull some other code, in that case I can stash it, and then I can do git stash apply, so the code will be reverted back again. Okay, cool. Now there is something called as git clone. Okay, there is something called as git clone. So how git clone will work, right? So let's suppose this is the code that I am working on, right? This is the code that I am working on, and I don't have this particular code, right? Let's say I have added someone, or let me do one thing. Let's say cal.com itself. Okay, cal.com GitHub, right? So this is the cal.com GitHub, right? and I want this code to be now get into my system. Okay, I want this code that I should have it in my system. So if I go into my PC D drive, right? So currently I'm not having this cal.com code, right? So I will do what? I will just come here. Okay, I will do cd, right? So right now I'm in D directory. If I do ls, so you can see there is no such folder as cal.com, right? There is no such folder as cal.com, correct? So I will do what? I will come here in the D drive and I will write a code as git clone, okay? And I will click on this code button, copy this particular URL, go back to the terminal and I will paste it here, right? And I will press enter. So you can see cloning into cal.com, right? There are some things that it is receiving, some objects it is receiving, right? So it will take a few seconds because this is a very big repository, so it can take some time to clone. Okay, so it will take again some more seconds. Okay, so now you can see this clone command has ran successfully. So because it is a very big repository, right? It took this much time. But if you will try to clone some small uh, repository, in that case, it will be cloning very fast. And now I will do what? It will create a folder with this particular name, cal.com. Okay, so I can do what? Cd, right? You can see there is now cal.com. So cal.com, if I press enter, right? So you can see that it is now on the main thing. And now if I do code enter, okay, so it will open all the code in my VS code, right? You can see right here. Parents, I can zoom in a bit. Okay, so you can see the whole code now is into my VS code or into my local, right? If I go into apps, so I have my API and web thing. If I come back here again, where is my cal.com, right? And here if I go into apps, right, I have API and web. If let's suppose I open API, so I have v1 v2 index.js, right? So if I open my API, so v1 v2 index.js and package.json, it means I have now all the code that is present here in this cal.com repository is now onto my local, right? And now I can use it anyhow I want to use it, right? But obviously I should have that skill, I should have that knowledge to do those changes also, right? Because this is not a very small code. If you will look here, this is not a very small code that we are talking about, right? It has thousands of commits. It has 15,400, around 15,500 commits have been made to this particular repository, right? So this is by no chance it is a small code that we can easily clone and start working on, right? It will take us time to first of all understand it, right? What all changes we have to do and what not. There can be multiple things. Okay, cool. Now let me do one thing. Let me make you go through this particular cal.com repository itself. Okay. So obviously now we have understood that this is the place where our code will reside, similar to this particular thing, right? Our code is residing here. If I want to add some kind of directory and all those things, I can also do that, right? Like these directories are added here, right? If you will scroll down, you will see something as readme.md. So this file is in the markdown format, so that's why it's MD file, right? So here also you will see readme file. So I can add this readme file. I can change it according to my use case, right? So usually in readme file, what we do is we try to first of all set up, or maybe if possible, we will try to create this particular kind of demo video of our product, right? Then we will explain about the product. So it is an open source currently successor. You are in charge of your own data workflow and appearance, right? Currently and other scheduling tools are awesome and all these things. If you want to promote it, so any kind of recognition if it has made, right? So you will see here what is the tech stack that this particular is using. So it's using Next.js, TRPC, React.js, right? Tailwind CSS, Prisma and Daily. Then contact, if you want to contact and do all those things, how to set up. Okay, so sorry, stay up to date. So either you can fork it or you can mark it start. Then how you can get started if you want to set up in your own local, how will you able to set up, right? So this is how, right? Git clone and this particular command we ran. So we got everything into our local. Now I can do what? cdcal.com. I can install all the packages using yarn. I can set up my environment.py file. I can use nvm use, nvm install and use, and like that. And it will be basically up and running if I've done all the things correctly, right? Everything, right? Docker deployment, each and every details are given in this particular readme file. Okay. Contributions and all these things. Okay. So now who are these contributors, right? Let's understand who are these contributors. So as I told you that on one single project, there can be multiple people who can be working and who will be pushing onto your code if it is a public repository, right? So because this is a public repository and because this is an open source project, anyone can push their code to the project, right? And if you will see here, you will have some kind of pull requests that has been made by different developers, right? So you can see here, right? The same thing that I was talking about, feature. So validate, add validate to enforce these things, right? Feature nav item drop down animation implemented, right? If it was some kind of fix, so it has written fix here, right? Feature, chorus and whatnot, right? Something like this. Okay. So once you make any kind of changes to the code, you will not directly push it to the main branch, right? As we have already now talked about the branching thing. So we are very well aware about that. We are not directly pushing the code to the main branch. We first of all create a branch for it, right? For implementing any new feature, right? We create a branch for it. Then we add our code or push our commits to the branch. And once that whole functionality has been added, right? We kind of open a pull request, right? Now the maintainers of this particular repository, they will one by one review this particular code. Now things are also getting automated using UI also, right? So some kind of reviews, code review is also now being done by AI, right? But even now in open source, right, majority of the code review is being done by the maintainers of the project themselves, right? So you will have to basically create a pull request, and if they feel like that, okay, yes, your pull request is beneficial enough, they will merge it, or else they will try to add some kind of comment. So if you will see here, right, this pull request, that is Booker schedule behavior for org admin, right? So it has added some kind of details that what all things did he do, right? And now there are some things that has been written here, right? Ensure if your org admin tries to reschedule booking, this should throw an exception, right? Someone has suggested him, so we should use like this, right? Some kind of things are getting discussed here, right? So unless the maintainer feels like that your code is good enough and it should be added into the main branch, it will not be added, right? And you must have heard about it that you should do open source contribution, and this is exactly what open source contribution is, right? If your code gets merged into the code, right, or into the repository, I would say, and you become a kind of contributor of that particular repository, so you are now an official open source contributor. But make sure, don't try to do the mistakes that other students were doing, that they were just trying to update the readme file. So no one, if you are just updating the readme file, no one is going to merge your pull request. Okay, your pull request should have some kind of functionality, should make the application or make the platform better, then only your pull request will be merged. Okay, then we have issues. So if we are a user, right, so we can open some kind of issues. So if I click on this new issue, I can add some kind of issue. So I can do a bug report, I can do a feature request, right? I can do some kind of platform request, I can report some security vulnerability, and I can ask some questions also. Okay, so if I feel like that, okay, this should be this feature should be improved, or there is some bug in this feature, and so on. Like you can see, API version 2 license key check incorrect, so it is a bug, right? Chart access month label render in not English local on production, so it is a bug, right? So this is a feature. So calendar overwrite remove one time and something like this. So this is a feature. Okay, so it has marked improvements, right? So don't allow variables in query param for custom event redirect. Okay, so this is a improvement. So we can add our new issues here, and it will be basically fixed by the developers or by the contributors. You can see here, right? So someone added their issue, right? So using linear, so linear is basically bot kind of stuff, right? So you can see here, right, that Hemant, can I work on this if any internal member is not working? Okay, so now it will be basically, if they feel like, so it will be added and it will be awarded to Hemant. Okay, then there is discussions. So if you want to do any kind of discussion, right, if you want to see anything, you can previous discussions and all those things you can see here. So these things are not a part of Git. Okay, these are additional features that have been added by GitHub people on top of Git. Okay, so it will be added here. Now if I talk about actions, okay, so these GitHub actions are the CI/CD thing, right? So if you see here, if I click here, so you can see some GitHub action is going on right now. You can see, right, setup job has been done, curl request has been done, and the job complete has been done. Okay, so this is what CI/CD basically is. You can see it in real time. So maybe now it has been completed. Okay, and this is how basically we will be creating our CI/CD pipeline. Okay, cleanup report. So job setup was done, then generate API app token was done, check out GitHub pages and all those things, then complete job was done. Okay, so using GitHub actions, we can implement our CI/CD part. Now, if you want any kind of security and all those things, so you can mention it here, or else some things are mentioned here also by the developer themselves. Then the insights, if you want to look at the insight of this particular repository, right? How many active pull requests are there? How many active issues are there? How many merge pull requests were there? How many open pull requests are there? Closed issues, new issues, right? Who are the top committers? Okay, you can see top commits are done by these people, right? You can get a summary. Contributors, right? Who are the contributors of this particular repository and how many commits was done by them. right? From how long they have been associated with the repository and so on. Okay. Then there are multiple things, right? Commits is there. Okay. Code frequency is there. Dependency graph is there and so on. So this was about this particular repository. So more or less all the repositories will be having the same thing, right? All the repositories will have the same kind of feature. Okay. Let me close this and let me come back here. Okay. Now if I want to do what? If I want to do some kind of changes onto my profile, right? So I can click on this profile section, right? You will come here, right? And you can do any changes you want to make in your profile, right? How you can create these kind of sections for you guys. So here if you write like if you come on Google and if you write here as GitHub profile readme generator, okay, so you can open this link, I believe. Yes. Okay, so you can write your name here. Okay, your name, your subtitle, you are currently working on which project and all those things, right? If you want to choose any skills and everything, you can choose it. Okay, what all things you know. If you want to add your social media domains, you can add it here, right? And then you can click on generate readme. Okay, you can click on this generate readme, and once you will click on this generate readme, it will generate a readme file for you, right? And you can just copy and paste that particular readme file here, and it will be changed in the way that you have chosen it. So you can very easily create this particular readme file, or you can say the profile page of yours. Now if I talk about multiple things, so repositories you have already understood, stars you are already aware about, guys I don't think you should worry about it. Now if I go to settings, right? So in settings you can have multiple things. You can have your profile, right? You can have your account. Okay, so who should be your successor? If you want to delete your account, if you want to start some kind of export or something, right? If you want to change username, you can do it. Appearance wise, right, it should be like this, and whatnot, whatever you want to. Okay, let's go with soft dark. Okay, so these are more or less same things, right? I guess you guys can. Okay, yeah, so you guys can very easily I believe can go through this, right? It's very similar to the other social media pages that are out there. Okay, so home, yeah, cool. So this was pretty much it, guys. I believe I have covered almost everything. If I talk about Git and GitHub, right? Um, Everything is covered from my side. If you have any kind of issues, for sure, I am always open. Uh, like to, I would say, not fix any issue, to clarify any kind of issues or doubts if you have. Cool. So with that said, guys, I'll be ending the video for today. This video, right? I will be ending this particular video. I hope you guys learned something new in this video. I will see you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Bye bye.